This is the Keychron K4 version 2, a fantastic wireless keyboard with great versatility at a compelling price point. Hey, what's good? Prashil here with my review of the Keychron K4 V2, and I gotta say right off the bat, this keyboard is an absolute banger. And I'm going to talk more about the usability, the build quality, and the price point of this keyboard to back up my claim, obviously. But for those who are strapped for time, I seriously think that you should consider the Keychron K4. Alright, for those who need a little bit more info, let's start off with the build quality and the design. Alright, so from the top, you get a pretty good idea of the key layout. You also get a numpad, and honestly, the layout here is pretty standard, if not somewhat squished together, which may take some time getting used to. I personally think the color scheme is really nice. You get a two-tone gray look with a nice set of contrasty orange accent colored keys for the escape key, as well as the little light bulb on the right, which allows you to change the RGB lighting setup for the keyboard. I think the color scheme of the keys match the matte finished aluminum frame really nicely, and it comes together very well. On the side, you have decently textured sliding buttons for turning it on and off, and a switch to change between wireless and wired modes, as well as to switch between Apple and Windows devices. The K4 V2 also has great adjustability when it comes to keyboard position, as you get these nifty clips allowing for two different typing positions. So overall, I really dig the design of the K4 V2. I think that the team at Keychron have really found a great balance between functionality and form. Now I want to get onto the usability of this keyboard, and surprise, surprise, it's actually pretty good. The K4 has a Bluetooth 5.1 chip, and it's quick. I never felt like it struggled to keep up with gaming or when typing. And once paired, the experience has been pretty seamless for me. It is compatible with Mac and Windows devices, and there is a dedicated button to switch between the two. In terms of battery life, the K4 has a 4000 mAh battery and is rated to last up to 240 hours on a single charge. Now, my usage averages about 6 to 8 hours a day, and I typically charge it once every 2 weeks and have not encountered any problems. Also, a quick tip regarding battery: you can check the battery life by pressing FN+B, and it should yield one of three colors. Green means your battery is above 70%, with blue indicating battery around 50%, and red indicating that it's time to charge. Now, what is it like to actually type using this keyboard? Well, with a key travel distance of 2mm and a premium switch mechanism, it all makes for a really great typing experience. The keys feel solid and the switch mechanism really comes through, with each key press feeling very satisfying. I've also used this keyboard for gaming as well as typing, and I gotta say, it really does perform well. So for gaming, I mostly just play single player games, partly because I don't have many online friends, and partly because I just enjoy the story of single-player games, away from the competitiveness of the online games where you can get mocked by a bunch of 12-year-olds. Yeah, that's the kind of hurt I just can't take. But I would recommend a wired keyboard for competitive online playing because it just makes more sense with the feedback. But yeah, for single-player games, I found this to be just fine. The keys are also hot swappable, so they can easily be switched up, and Keychron does provide you with a very useful tool to do this straight out the box, as well as a few extra keys for when you swap between Mac and Windows devices. The RGB lighting is also really fun to play with. There are many modes to it as well, and while initially I found it to be very cool to use, its gimmick soon wore off, and I found myself defaulting to a low-key light setting, which also helped to prolong the battery life. Alright, so my final thoughts on the Keychron K4 version 2 is that at a price point of around $90 US, this really is the keyboard to get. Now obviously it's not the cheapest keyboard out there, but by far it's not the most expensive keyboard either. And for this feature set, as well as the build quality and the usability and performance, I gotta say it really did exceed my expectations. Now I've reviewed a fair amount of tech in my time, and it's not often you see a piece of tech that's so black and white in terms of how it performs versus its price. And with this, there is no gray area. It's just gray all around. I mean, if I had to nitpick, it's kind of loud, but then again, most mechanical keyboards are. So yeah, if this keyboard falls under your budget and its feature set matches your needs, then I'm happy to report that it should definitely be on your radar and you should definitely go out and pick this up. Well, this has been it for my review of the Keychron K4 version 2. Yeah, looks like we're out of time. Till we meet again.